The galaxy was quiet, almost peaceful, but something dark moved beneath that silence. No one noticed it at first. Trade routes were normal, fleets traveled freely, stars burned like always. But in one corner of space, far from major systems, a strange fear began to grow. It started with short messages, broken transmissions, whispers from damaged satellites, and then one night, everything went silent. The planet Vexor 4, home to millions, famous for crystal towers and golden skyports, stopped responding. No ships, no patrol signals, no emergency beacons. It was like the entire world simply disappeared. The Zeralon Empire first believed it was a malfunction, then a pirate raid. But soon, more border stations went dark. Fragments of ships were found drifting like frozen corpses, metal torn apart like paper. The High Council met in panic. Generals argued, diplomats shouted, scientists searched for answers. The proud Zeralon never asked help from anyone, but fear changed them. Their final decision was desperate and shameful for an empire so powerful. They sent one message across the galaxy, trembling, broken, full of fear. We request backup. Any ally, respond. Please. For days they waited. No answer came. Then, the skies opened. Blue war engines burst through hyperspace like thunder. One ship appeared, then 10, then hundreds, until the entire starfield was filled with massive dark silver warships. Their hulls glowed like storms, silent yet powerful. Every scanner identified the signature instantly. Human ships. But they did not arrive slowly. They did not arrive peacefully. They came like a hurricane. Zeralon Command whispered, "Backup has arrived." But in their hearts they felt something colder. Humans were not here to help. Humans were here to take control. The first wave of human battleships took formation like blades drawn for war. Their hulls were black steel with glowing blue veins, like thunder frozen into metal. Zeralon officers watched from their command tower, hearts pounding, antennas shaking. They expected transmissions, terms, negotiation, something diplomatic. But humans sent only one message. It was not a voice. It was not a warning. It was a directional energy pulse that disabled every Zeralon defense within seconds. Shields died. Weapons froze. Satellites fell like dead birds. In the silence that followed, the galaxy finally understood. Humans did not come to talk. Humans came to end something. Admiral Karos, an old Zeralon with scales cracked like dry stone, stood in disbelief. "They answered our call," he muttered, "but not as allies. They arrive as executioners." Human strike carriers opened like blooming metal flowers. Swarms of drones poured out, cold, silent, precise. They did not fire first. They scanned. They calculated. They moved across star space with mathematical calm, as if measuring a battlefield they already owned. A nervous officer finally spoke, voice shaking. "Should we contact them?" Karos stared at the screen where Earth's emblem burned bright like warfire. Slowly, painfully, he shook his head. They did not come for conversation. Meanwhile, deep inside the lead human flagship Aegis Prime, Commander Ryland stood with hands behind his back. He watched the alien world below like a surgeon studying a patient before cutting. "The distress signal was not a request," he said quietly. "It was an invitation. They opened the door, and we walked in." No one disagreed. The fleet hovered like a storm ready to fall. The galaxy held its breath. Because humans hadn't attacked yet. They were waiting for a reason. Just one. Minutes passed like hours. Zeralon fleets stayed frozen, terrified to make the first move. Human ships hovered above their world like predators circling prey, silent, patient, unstoppable. The sky of Vexor 4 turned dark as Earth's Armada blocked out the sun, casting cities into shadow. The High Council finally sent a transmission, voice trembling. "Humans, we request peace. We asked for backup, not war." The reply came instantly, and this time it was a voice. Calm, cold, human. "You asked for help, but you did not specify for whom." The room fell silent. Every scale on every alien stiffened. Their request for backup was universal. Any species could answer. And humans did, but their presence here was not mercy. It was opportunity. On Aegis Prime, Commander Ryland studied tactical readings. He saw weaknesses, unprotected trade routes, aging battleships, broken alliances. Humanity had been insulted by the galaxy once, and they never forgot. Now they returned strong, united, unforgiving. Rylan raised his hand slowly. Begin atmospheric entry. Engines roared like thunder. The first wave descended. Not bombs. Not lasers. Troop carriers. Thousands of them. Dropships pierced the clouds like falling stars, leaving glowing trails across the sky. Vexor citizens looked up and screamed as steel giants touched the ground. Armored soldiers marched out, tall, disciplined, silent. They carried rail rifles that hummed with stored lightning. They moved like a single mind. No fear, no hesitation. This was not conquest driven by chaos. It was conquest born from precision. In a whisper that spread across the galaxy, one truth became clear. Humanity did not arrive to assist. Humanity arrived to replace. The empire that begged for help now knelt beneath a new force. But this was only the beginning. The first human boots touched alien soil like thunder. Their armor shimmered under the twin suns, polished steel, glowing blue joints, helmets shaped like silent executioners. Every step was measured, heavy, unstoppable. Zeralon drones hovered overhead, recording the impossible, the mightiest empire in the quadrant being invaded without a single warning shot. Crowds gathered in streets, terrified. Some fell to their knees. Others tried to run, but human recon units were already everywhere. Rooftops, alleys, comm towers. They moved like shadows controlled by one will. Inside the Imperial Citadel, Grand Marshal Serac hissed in fear. "We must resist," he demanded, slamming his claws against the table. But even he heard the tremor in his own voice. The room disagreed quietly. Resistance against humanity meant extinction. A message flashed across the war room screens. A live feed from orbit, human carriers unfolding like metal gods across the sky, each one capable of glassing continents. And there were hundreds. Commander Rylan appeared again, calm as cold steel. "You called. We came." His eyes did not blink. "Now we decide the future of your empire." Serac felt his pride crumble. What do you want?" Rylan's voice carried no anger, only certainty. Stability. Access. Compliance. The words fell like chains. Human soldiers advanced through cities without firing. Instead, they replaced government centers, took control of orbital defenses, seized energy cores. They didn't need war, they only needed presence. The message was clear. Submit and live. Resist and disappear. Across the galaxy, other civilizations watched in horror. If Zeralon, strongest of many, fell without even a battle, what chance did anyone else have? But the galaxy had not yet seen the most shocking truth. Because humans were not here for conquest alone. They came for justice long overdue. For days, the human fleet controlled Vexor, for without firing a shot. Not a single building burned. Not a single civilian was harmed. Yet fear was everywhere, because no one understood why the humans came. Power this great surely had purpose. That purpose revealed itself quietly. Human databanks opened, projecting holographic records across the Zeralon Council chamber. Images of burned Earth colonies appeared, worlds attacked centuries ago, outposts destroyed by alien raiders, human children taken as slaves, settlements erased, so quickly history forgot them. Until now, silence filled the hall as Commander Rylan stepped forward, his boots echoing like judgment. "The galaxy ignored our screams," he said. "So now, we answer yours." Zeralon officials trembled. They remembered those raids, small, unimportant, barely discussed. No one thought humans would rise again, let alone with a fleet that shook suns. "This invasion is not revenge," Rylan continued. "It is balance." Human soldiers placed beacons across the planet. Not bombs, data relays, trade gates, diplomatic towers. They were not here to destroy Zeralon. They were here to rewrite galactic order. The galaxy watched with growing panic. If humans could take an empire through precision and logic, they could take anything. No throne was safe. No fleet untouchable. In hidden corners of space, smaller species whispered like frightened children. Maybe humanity is not our enemy. Maybe humans could protect us. And that whisper began to spread, like fire in dry grass. Zeralon leaders realized the truth too late. Humanity wasn't conquering territory. Humanity was conquering loyalty. A new power was rising, not from fear, but from respect. Yet one question remained, frightening and bright. Who would stand against them next? Because humanity was not finished. They were only expanding. Weeks passed. Human banners now shimmered across Zeralon's space. Not forced, but accepted. Trade increased. Piracy vanished. Border wars ended. Worlds once ignored were now protected. For the first time in centuries, peace began to grow like light. But peace built on power is never quiet for long. Across the spiral arm, rival empires murmured with jealousy. They watched Zeralon kneel without war, watched humanity reshape planets without firing a weapon, and they trembled. To some, humanity was salvation. To others, a threat too massive to ignore. One night, in deep void, 3 alien coalitions met in secret. Their goal was simple: stop humanity before it becomes unstoppable. Thousands of ships prepared in silence. Engines burned. Weapons charged. Dark fleets united not for justice, but out of fear. Their admirals whispered one dangerous hope: if we strike first, maybe we survive. But the humans already knew. On Aegis Prime, Commander Rylan watched enemy signatures gather like black clouds. His face was calm. Not hope, not fear, only certainty. He sent one final transmission across every star. We did not come to conquer. We came because you taught us to survive. Then his voice hardened like steel. If war is your answer, we will not run. We will finish what you start. Human engines ignited. Warships turned. The storm that once entered the galaxy was now ready to unleash itself. And as the first human battle group jumped toward the approaching Armada, the galaxy finally understood the future. No empire would ever again decide humanity's fate. Humans answered distress calls with fleets. They answered threats with fire. And they answered history with power. This was not just a fleet. This was the new law of the stars.